COPWATCH, policing the police every single day.
Raising somebody, a child, for shoplifting, come on, that's ridiculous.
Shoppers at this Kroger on Kennard Avenue want to know why a police officer would taser an 11-year-old girl.
Yeah, that's sad. You know, she hungry, she's stealing.
Cincinnati police say the girl was shoplifting, non-compliant, and resisting arrest. When she attempted to run off, an officer deployed a taser, hitting her in the back.
She's not robbing a bank. She's not endangering anybody. She's a child. And what are they taking from the store? That's my whole point. Was it food? Was it candy? How do you know she wasn't hungry? How do you know they're not struggling?
City Councilman Jeff Pastor says even without knowing exactly what happened, the situation is difficult to understand.
We're still waiting on, bits and pieces of information, but I can see no reason. I have a 12-year-old daughter, but I can see no reason why an 11-year-old child would be tasered, given the circumstances for shoplifting.
Cincinnati police say the officer, who was working a detail, followed its use of force taser policy, and per the policy, officers should avoid using the taser on individuals under the age of 7 or over the age of 70.
I would like to confer with the police officers to see why that policy is in place. I'm not in the business of criticizing the policy. However, a 7-year-old kid, being eligible for use of force by taser, it probably shocked me, probably shocks most Cincinnatians.
And Cincinnati Police Chief Elliot Isaac released a statement about an hour ago tonight saying, quote, "We are extremely concerned when force is used by one of our officers on a child of this age. As a result, we will be taking a very thorough review of our policies as it relates to using force on juveniles, as well as the propriety of the officer's actions," end quote. And that officer has been placed on restricted duty pending the outcome of this investigation. Reporting live tonight in Spring Grove Village, Emily Wood, WLWT News 5.
Hungry 11-year-old girl taken to hospital after cop tasered her in the back for stealing food. After a cop suspected an 11-year-old girl of stealing food and she walked away, he tasered her in the back, causing her to be taken to the hospital. By Matt Agarist, August 8, 2018. Cincinnati OH. A disturbing story out of Cincinnati is making headlines this week after a police officer tasered an 11-year-old girl after he suspected her of stealing food. The officer who tasered the girl has been put on administrative leave pending the outcome of an investigation. Tossing someone, a child, for shoplifting? That's ridiculous, one witness told WLWT. There is no reason for that. According to police, an off-duty officer working as a security officer at the Spring Grove Village Kroger confronted the girl after he suspected her of stealing food. When the officer attempted to stop the little girl, according to police, she did not listen to him. The girl kept walking in an apparent attempt to get away from the officer, who then pulled out his taser and shot her in the back. While being tasered, the girl was injured and was taken to a nearby children's hospital where she was treated and released to her parents. According to police, the girl is charged with theft for stealing the food and obstruction of justice. The officer involved was equipped with a body camera. However, according to police, he failed to turn it on during the incident. It was only turned on after the girl was tossed. Police also said they did not know if there was surveillance footage from the Kroger. However, they likely have it by now. Although the officer was placed on administrative leave, police say the officer acted within the guidelines of their use of force regarding children. As WLWT reported, Lieutenant Steve Saunders with CPD said their guidelines allow them to use a taser on anyone 7 and older. The department's policy adds, officers should avoid using the taser on obviously pregnant females and those individuals under the age of 7 or over the age of 70 due to the potential for these individuals to fall when incapacitated by a taser, unless the encounter rises to the level of a deadly force situation. Yes, you read that correctly. Police in Cincinnati can taser children as young as 7-year-old. They can apparently do so over the alleged theft of food as well. I would like to confer with the police officers to see why that policy is in place, Councilman Jeff Pastor said. I'm not in the business of criticizing the policy, however a 7-year-old kid, being eligible for use of force by taser, it probably shocks me, probably shocks most Cincinnatians. We're still waiting on bits and pieces of information, but I can see no reason. I have a 12-year-old daughter, but I can see no reason why an 11-year-old child would be tasered given the circumstances for shoplifting, Pastor said. We are extremely concerned when force is used by one of our officers on a child of this age, Isaac said in a statement. As a result, we will be taking a very thorough review of our policies as it relates to using force on juveniles as well as the propriety of the officer's actions. To be clear, stealing food is certainly wrong. However, it is one of those things that is easily forgiven as this girl was likely hungry. The cop could have used his discretion and allowed the girl to return the food. Or, he could have done like this cop in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, who was called to Hardee's to arrest a homeless man in June. Instead of arresting him, however, he bought him dinner. Police use who may want to retaliate against him physically.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Cop Watch, and I just wanted you to know that I am using this stuff under fair use. And also remember to like and subscribe this channel. Also too, keep in mind I do not make any money on YouTube. This is 5 hours work a day, you know, fighting for freedom. And you can donate with PayPal and Patreon. I just want you to think about this. If everybody gives to PayPal and Patreon, Patreon is every month. Actually, PayPal you can do every month. I have 12,000 subscribers. If everybody gives, I can quit my regular job and go full-time investigations on Charlotte County and possibly even more and beyond. So just keep that in mind. If everybody helps out, I can go full-time doing this. Thanks.